Yeah, so this is going to be Shawn. I'm hoping he can get in. I know Charlie. Let me just real quick, and I know you know about this, Doc, but I want to tell a real quick story because we have been on this journey for a long time, and it all started a year and a half ago. Charlie lost his brother. He brought us on the journey with him. So that in and of itself, I think brought it home for a lot of us, made it personal. Even though we didn't know his brother, we knew Charlie, and we felt for Charlie. Um, Along the way, other cases. I lost a first cousin to COVID, and all of these cases, all of these incidents, uh, reach reach home. It touches your heart. Well, I want to tell a real quick story before I bring Shawn on. Is my daughter who was not vaccinated. We have been trying to convince her to take the vaccine for a while. Can you imagine? I'm me as your dad. Um, and after Matt Funga passed away, the football player on Oahu, I texted her and I stopped bothering her. And my son finally got his shot because he got a little scared. They both live in Oregon. But my daughter, I texted my daughter and I said, we lost another friend, another healthy guy, football player, former UH player, unvaccinated and dead. Please get your vaccine. I love you. That was on Friday or so. Sunday, she had planned to go get the vaccine. So she got up in the morning, she went to work with the intention of getting her vaccine in the afternoon, and then she got a call about 11 o'clock from someone that she had come in contact with a few days prior. He had tested positive. She went to the doctor, urgent care, got tested. My daughter's positive. My daughter has COVID. She was kind of laughing it off because she didn't have any symptoms. Well, you know what? She woke up this morning and she's got the full symptoms. She's got it. We're scared shitless. Fever, body ache. She said the worst she's ever felt in her life. And I bring this up not for sympathy, but she was a day away from getting the vaccine. And right before we came on, I had her get an oxygen meter, and her oxygen was down to 91. Told her to call the ER. So I'm assuming everything is working because my wife didn't come in and tell me, but it's more than likely she didn't tell her go to ER and get some oxygen. And again, I don't say that for any other reason that she was that close from getting a vaccine. 2 weeks ago, she could have got the vaccine. And let me tell you right now, she's going to get the vaccine now. She has absolutely no doubt. So again, I share that because it hits home, it gets close. And that's why I want to bring in Shawn right now to share his story. I have never met Shawn. I have never spoken to Shawn. I want to thank Jody for, that's Jody. Hang on, Jody. We cannot hear you yet,
Okay,
Jody.
Mel. Thanks, Mel. And this is Shawn's little face right there. Here,
Aloha, Shawn.
Okay. Hi. Aloha, Mel. Finally here I am. Okay. Shawn. Oops. There he is. Okay.
Guys,
Hello.
now would be a good time to share. Press the share button, people. I'm gonna put Shawn on the screen so we get to see Shawn. What's up, Shawn? How you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging in there still. Hanging in there. I'm about a good year and a half out on having had COVID and pneumonia, and was in a coma for almost 2 months. And I don't know. I'm not sure. My my mother-in-law was just like, "Oh, you should talk to these people," and I'm like, I mean, I'm willing. I'm not sure exactly. Like, I heard a little bit of your show on and off because she was trying to hook up with it. I'm not sure what you guys want. What do you want to hear from me?
Well, Shawn, it's obvious that you're on oxygen.
Yes, and not 24/7. It's like on and off. Like, I mean, I won't die if I don't have it on, but it helps my heart not have to work so hard and stuff. And sometimes I really do just need it.
Now, Shawn, when did you contract the virus?
Somewhere around January of 2020, before anybody, not this January, the last January, before anybody was even talking about it.
So you had the original strain, not even the Delta. There
Oh
were no
yeah,
va-
no, oh no, it's way back. I didn't know what I had. I mean, really, what happened was I was feeling very like off. I hadn't even had the flu or the flu vaccine or anything, or even had a freaking temperature for about 10 years. No joke. And I was like feeling off, and then I was like, God, do I have a fever? I'm like, I didn't even remember what it was like to have a fever. Like, that's how long it had been since I had felt really sick. And I took my temperature and it was 103.5. And I was like, okay, yeah, I need to get this checked out. So, excuse me. So the next day I went to like a med clinic, like whatever. I'm on Medi-Cal here in California. And I just thought, I was like, hi guys, I guess I got the flu. I haven't had the flu in ever. And so they gave me the test, and they were like, well, it's not a flu that we know. Like, it was like the paperwork and everything that was like unknown infectious virus. And I was like, okay. And they were like, just, go home and take Tylenol for your fever and drink fluids, but we can't give you Tamiflu or anything because it's a virus that we don't know. And I was like, okay. So I went home. I just drank juice and water and stuff. And my God, sorry, my temperature went down in probably just a couple of 2 or 3 days, but I just felt like I had like a hot poker in my chest, and I just was coughing and to the point of dry heaving. And I didn't know anything about it at the time, but I couldn't smell anything, I couldn't taste anything. And after about 10 days, I was just so like, I couldn't barely walk down. I was walking down the hall, and it would be like, I'm just felt dizzy. And I just figured it was just part of having the flu or whatever. And so then I went back to the same clinic, and they put the pulse oximeter on me, and the girl was like, hold on, and like grabbed one of the other nurses, because she was like, this can't be right, and put another pulse oximeter on me, and I was in the 50s. They're like,
Wow.
they were like, so I had like, and I wasn't breathing heavy. Like, I didn't realize that I had no oxygen going on, which is like just another thing that you see with COVID, is that like inability for your body to like, what's it called? God, I can't think of the name of it. Well, your body doesn't even realize that it's like lacking the oxygen. Like, I was just like, oh, I feel a little dizzy. And they were like, call 911. They put oxygen on me. I was immediately picked up by an ambulance and rushed to the hospital. And they were like trying to do all this stuff to get my oxygen up. And just nothing really worked. I had, after 10 days of COVID, I had developed pneumonia. And so, yeah, I just really couldn't, I don't remember that much after I got into the hospital. Like within 2 days, I was in a coma. I mean, I had a trach, everything. I was on a ventilator for like almost 2 months. They just didn't even know. They were like taking biopsies and stuff. My lung collapsed multiple times. It was just, and I was like, I didn't even, and I woke up from the coma just about a week or so before they really, like, I was seeing it on TV there at the hospital and stuff. They were talking about this like disease, and they thought that I was vaping. And I'm like, I never vaped. I mean, I smoked. I was a smoker, but
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
They weren't
Yeah,
able to tell you. They weren't able to tell you what was going on, huh? Despite all
they,
of that,
they,
all that stuff they did to you, they still weren't able to give you a clear diagnosis.
no, they were not.
Hey, Shawn,
They
Shawn,
sent it to the Mayo Clinic. They sent samples of my stuff to the Mayo Clinic. Nobody can. I am still not categorized as a COVID patient. They say that I was vaping, and I'm like, vaping, acute respiratory distress, pneumonia, blah 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 blah. I have 50%, just a little bit over 50% lung function. I've had multiple lung function tests with my pulmonologist, who was one of the only people who even thought I was gonna survive this whole thing. Like, my parents flew out from Georgia, and they were like bringing priests in. I mean, they're like, oh, he's not gonna like live through the night. Like, my I was down to like 2 beats per minute, and then I would shoot up to 200 beats per minute.
Got a blood clot?
I had blood clots. They had to put some thing in my leg to maybe trap a blood clot that would go to my heart, because they want to have me have a pulmonary embolism, whatever the hell. I don't know all the.
hey, Shawn, that's Dr.
I know I'm
Dworkin.
rambling.
No, please. I want you to ramble. I just want to let you know that's Dr. Dworkin. That's not Mark Zuckerberg. That is actually Dr. Dworkin. He's
Not nearly as
infectious-
wealthy as Mark Zuckerberg.
he's an infectious disease specialist. He's one of our great friends, and he's on the Big Island of Hawaii. So I just wanted to let you know that this guy was a doctor, and he wants to hear your story as well, because he's intrigued. So are all of
You
we.
can't call me on the phone, Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't even remember most of what happened. Like, I was in a coma, and they were like taking biopsies. My lung collapsed multiple times. They didn't know what it was. They had no idea what it was. Because
Shawn, was that the most frustrating thing for you? Like, what was the most frustrating about it? Was it the pain of being in the hospital?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, it was awful to be in the hospital for so long. I mean, but I had so many, I was like, literally, my pulmonologist said that I was on more than twice the legal limit of fentanyl at some point, because they were trying to calm my systems down. I was like, everything was it was like a tornado in my body.
Every time they turned him, his heart rate would go
Whoops.
through the roof.
Did I do something?
No,
Yeah.
You're there.
Calling it
It's-
ICU
Delirium.
delirium.
Or
It sounds like, from what you were describing, Shawn, can I ask you a question? It sounds like in the beginning you had kind of a febrile illness, and then did I understand that right? That it seemed to be going away a little bit, but then it got worse again with the breathing. So
No, never got better.
you mentioned that you had some fever, and then it seemed to, at the very beginning of your story, you said it started with like a fever.
Oh, it felt like the flu.
It felt like the flu.
It felt like it was the closest thing that I could approximate it to, because
Yeah.
I
And
had
then-
literally had not been sick in any like detrimental or any way that like debilitated me in probably about 10 to 12 years.
And then later on, what did you notice next? Did it begin to settle in the chest? Is that when you went into what was it that brought you into the hospital?
Well, I got really weak and I was just, I literally felt like there was a poker in my chest. Like it was just like hot, and I would just cough until I was like, I couldn't even think or anything. Like I would just be coughing so hard that like I felt like I was gonna pass out, and then I would start like dry heaving and stuff. And that went on for about 10 days. And I watched like about 7 seasons of Cheers. Well, it was like, because I didn't even know what else to do. I just had Netflix on, I had Cheers on, you know, something from my childhood. And I was like, it kind of like made me feel good. But I was like, and my girlfriend was not around. She was working for Bernie Sanders campaign and stuff. So I was basically by myself in a room for like about 10 or 11 days. And it was just, I mean, I was just like, okay, I'm just going to ride this out. But it was just like, this is weird. And I now can't really function at all. Like I would have to stop halfway to the bathroom and sit down because I just felt exhausted and whatnot. But I wouldn't really be breathing hard. Like it wasn't like my body didn't realize that it was that I didn't have oxygen. It was just like, oh, you're just like a little dizzy. And it's like, well, that happens when you get, you know, the flu.
And then your face was like white and your lips were blue.
Yeah,
she
And
said
it sounds
like,
like you were having trouble getting oxygen into your blood. We see this
Oh,
often
yeah.
with viral illnesses, and we see it with COVID, but we also see it with influenza, where people get a flu-like syndrome. That's when the virus is first going into their body. And then they begin to turn the corner on that. Your immune system kicks in, you begin to control it, you tend to be less achy, less febrile. But oftentimes there's a double hit. And that's why I was curious about that part of it, because then there's a second phase that comes. And that's often what lands people in the hospital. And I've seen this with COVID over and over again, where, you know, they're home with the fevers and the chills and the aches for several days. And then they start to feel better. And then around day 8, they tend to get worse again. And that's when they end up in the hospital. And that's the trajectory with these viral illnesses. And sometimes there's a secondary pneumonia that gets on top of it. Sometimes it's just the immune system in the lung.
oh yeah,
you know?
no, I had pneumonia twice. I had pneumonia initially, and I was in the ICU,
Yeah.
and I was in a coma and all that. And then that got resolved, and I was actually doing pretty good. And I was like, I was no longer on a ventilator. I just like was on some like very mild
He went to subacute.
subacute. I don't know.
Yeah, he went to subacute when he was discharged, and this is in March. They sent him to a subacute facility where they fed him too fast, and he got aspiration pneumonia, and then he fell out of bed.
That's the like 4th time I thought I was gonna die.
And so they had to send him back to the hospital. So that was the second round of
Oh
pneumonia.
no, they had to take me to the emergency room to an actual
Did you hear
hospital.
me okay, Dr. Gorton?
Yeah, thank you guys for
Hey,
telling
Shawn,
the story.
hey, Shawn,
Yeah.
what's the prognosis, if you don't mind me asking? What, I mean,
Well, at this point, I'm about to get into a pulmonary rehab situation where I don't know, they're gonna like throw me on some treadmills and whatnot and make sure I don't die and all that. I was actually doing really well when I got out of the hospital for a couple months. I was not on oxygen. I'm on an oxygen concentrator right now, but in like December, I got like just like something that just felt like a random kind of like little cold or something. and it just wouldn't go away. And I had to like, I'm on steroids, but like I had to up my steroids because like my oxygen levels were so low. I'm sorry, I'm
Well,
rambling.
No, you're not rambling, Shawn, please.
What was
And
I am, but what,
no, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I saw somebody bring it up in the post. On the books, you are counted as a COVID recovered. They, so
oh, in the
when
books,
they,
I'm not even COVID anything.
you're not COVID?
Oh, no, there's no like
Well,
COVID.
they weren't
Like,
testing
He's
people
being
widely in
sarcastic.
January. Yeah. They weren't testing widely in January. I mean, you guys probably remember this, but there was no ability to test until well
There was
into
no
March.
test.
oh yeah, no, but I never got the test. And I
Yeah.
mean, I had my respiratory therapist and stuff in the hospital were like, we've been seeing people with these crazy respiratory problems since like November, October of 2019. Like she was like, yeah, this has been happening for a while. I don't remember her name. I wouldn't say her name if you asked anyway. But like basically everyone in the hospital outside of any actual doctor who could write it down on paper was like, oh my God, of course. So, but I mean, I am not counted. I'm not in you were saying earlier how many people are not counted, but a lot of them that are not counted just really didn't have symptoms, but maybe that I had 4.5, almost 5 months in a hospital. I got holes all over my body. I got chest tubes. I had the whole,
Well,
and they just didn't know what it was then.
And
There was
you
a-
asked his prognosis. He's on Social Security disability now. He's on permanent disability.
well, Shawn,
I'm handy capable.
yeah, absolutely, man. As a Special Olympics goes, handy capable is the right terminology. But Shawn, first of all, again, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah.
This broadcast is on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. A lot of people are going to watch this. I was hoping you could send out a message to everybody watching right now that may be on the fence for the vaccine.
Oh, come
I
on.
mean,
Come on. I am. I mean, I will even tell you, I'm sort of anti-vax. I mean, like in general, like I'm like, maybe everybody doesn't need to get shot up with everything all the time. You can just deal with it in your own. But no, not on this one. No, for sure. You should get vaccinated. I mean, it's not even like a question. You look at people who are vaccinated, you look at people who are not vaccinated, who's getting sick, who is extra spreading it. Like it's not, you don't have to be a genius to understand that you should get a vaccine.
This evening, before Shawn came on the show, he was collecting the last bit of trash from down here to take it out to the front curb. And when he came in, he'll stand up or go do the dishes. When he came in from taking out the trash, while I was trying to get online with y'all, he sat down and took his pulse ox, and it was at 77.
Wow.
So
Well, I mean,
he's
what are you gonna do?
impaired.
Well, yeah, and we're not trying to prove that I'm impaired. We're trying to tell people to not be stupid.
He once painted my whole house,
Well, I
Hey,
tell you, Shawn.
Thinker.
Uh-oh. Where'd he go? Shawn,
Uh,
where'd you go, bro? There you go.
I don't know. Something
No.
was happening with
No,
Jody's
we got
power
you back.
up on the phone.
We-
Yeah.
Well,
No,
I
you guys
just-
could call me back again. I'm sure I'm at least somewhat interesting. And I mean, I don't have any no. I got no political affiliations or anything. It's like this is just what happened to me, and it sucks. And I mean, God, I could tell you about so much crazy, like being in a coma and being all, oh my God, the delirium and stuff that comes from that. It's like, and most people don't really know a whole lot about it. It's pretty fucked up.
Thank
Like,
you for
you don't
sharing.
even-
Thank you for sharing that. I feel like what you're describing is a really rocky, awful ICU course. And we see that all the time with COVID, you know? And I think people have no idea what they're signing up for when they say, you know what, it's just a virus. It only kills 1% of the people who get it. I don't need to get the shot. I'll just get taken care of if I need to get taken care of. And you know, we have these people now that are spending months in the hospital, with all the kinds of experiences that you're describing, and it's a horror show. I mean, you know, we can keep people alive, but their quality of life is, you know. I mean, I don't want to say we're torturing them, because we're not trying to hurt them, but it's a kind of torture, right? Where you don't know what time of day it is, waking up at random times.
There's no one fix for it either. Like, it's so random. I mean, I really believe that it's like it's your immune system and how it decides to attack different things. That's like really, like, you know, I saw this is somebody describing it like it's like a tornado. It just goes through, and it's like, okay, you survived the tornado, but what is left of your body, anything, like your organs, different systems? It's like, it's not just like, oh, it just does this. It's like it just kind of sweeps through, and we'll see how you turn out. Like, I don't really have any heart problems, but I only have the equivalent of one lung. I had 2 lungs before. So I don't know.
And also he's on
Oh my goodness.
steroids
I talked about
and
it.
methotrexate, and that's not good.
No, I look way fatter than I did before.
I got Jody,
the face going on.
I hope I don't get Jody in trouble, but she shared with me the photos of when you were in the hospital.
Oh no,
a while
no,
back. A while back. I should have prepared. You know, I think, Shawn, you know, they say a picture paints 1,000 words, but you know, I'm looking at
use it as much as you want. I don't care if you use it.
Well, there's nothing better than you sharing your story live. I mean, I think, and I'm reading the comments. I don't know if you have Facebook running, but please go read the comments afterwards. There's a lot of love going out to you right now. A lot of prayers going out to you right now, Shawn. A lot of appreciation for you, Shawn. And Jody, thank you for making this happen.
Oh, you're welcome. You know what, I every year for 15 years I'm coming to Kauai in October, and Shawn, his first wife, had a place on Kauai, so it's near and dear to our hearts, which is why I'm here. And what I want to say is I feel bad when you guys feel like the tourists are coming and bringing it, and yes, they are, but it's not just they're coming to Hawaii. It's everywhere. Look at the United States map.
Whoa, duh.
And so what Hawaii has to do, and I think since there's this uptick, is we have to go back to having them make it as hard to get any person off a plane as it is to get my dog to Kauai, with multiple rabies tests and checks and spending hundreds of dollars to get that she's healthy enough to come. And so just, this is what they need to do. And I'll call the governor. You know, I actually emailed the governor.
The governor?
No, listen, I emailed the governor to say, who could I talk to? And so seriously, to say, but now with the uptick, there's been a change. So they can do something other than the Save Hawaii thing. They need to kick it up a notch.
Jody, I want to hug you so bad. You don't even realize it.
Well, someday.
You're singing her tune here.
But everybody, what you guys have to do is vaccinate yourselves. Every damn one of you, and vaccinate yourselves to protect you from this monster that's coming to get you all.
Hey,
please.
Jody, Jody,
Everybody here has it in the whole country.
I'm
Yes.
almost afraid to ask this question because it's only a 1 hour show, but
I would be
Hey,
afraid to
Jody,
ask any question to Jody.
Jody, what I want to get from you, Jody,
Yes,
Here, can you?
yes.
he's
Yes.
he's in the hospital. He's in a coma. Obviously, no one can see him. What is the stress like on the family, on like you and?
Oh my God. Well, his parents sat at his bedside the entire time.
Yeah, I think people
And-
think you're his mom. This is his mother-in-law, folks. I just for those of you that are putting down, oh, your mom. This is Shawn's mother-in-law, but
No,
family,
I'm his mother-in-law. My daughter is his woman.
okay, good.
And yeah, but his parents were there, and my daughter was working at the time. She was a field organizer for the Bernie Sanders campaign, so she was working her butt off. So I kind of took her place, sitting at Shawn's side much of the time, and
I don't remember anything.
he doesn't. He was just lying there, but from the time he got in the hospital, his x-rays kept getting worse and worse, and they were all white, and this ground glass, they kept saying this ground glass. They showed me the imaging, and so I just want everyone on all of the islands to get vaccinated, because
you want to go there.
because everybody who is coming they're bringing it there, yes, but just pretend it's rabies and pretend everybody getting on a plane to come there is a dog. That's all I have to say. Look
Jody,
at that.
no, Jody, I mean, I don't think that analogy has ever been made, but I think it's a great one. Doc,
I think you should run for
Of
governor.
course
I think you got my vote.
I mean,
Or
you
a
get-
native plant. I mean, a non-native plant. I've got a non-native milkweed. I'm breeding monarchs here. I got a bunch of caterpillars and chrysalide. But if I wanted to bring that milkweed with me,
But you could
Not
come
getting
there,
in.
but you could come there with COVID.
but I can come there with a fake COVID ID. So everybody needs a vax to get into the state. Hard copy, yeah. And I say a COVID test when they get there. And everybody else, get your gosh darn vaccines, please. It's like throwing a toddler in a pool with or without a life vest. It's the life vest that you're putting on the baby before throwing the
Well,
baby
that
in.
toddler might do okay. Anyway.
Here, Shawn. Good night. Love y'all.
I don't know
Shawn,
how
thank-
it got thrown back to me after that.
Hey, Sean, thank you again, buddy. We love you,
welcome.
man.
You're
We've been
welcome.
praying for
Jody's
you.
been talking about this for like 2 weeks. She's like, you gotta
Well-
go on this podcast. And I was like, I'll talk to anybody. I mean, I don't have anything else to do. I'm sitting here in a chair watching the news, yelling at like, the
Well,
politicians and stuff.
I'm gonna share this video with our local news. They all watch it. The governor watches it. Everybody watches this, and we'll make sure
The
they get
governor-
it.
Post Shawn's pictures. Tell them they can post it.
Yeah, you can use any pictures or she also posted a video of me with like when I was on the ventilator and all that stuff.
Do you want him to add that?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
she'll send it
Well,
to you. It's
Don't be surprised if you don't get another invite to come back on our show. I am planning a what I call a survivor COVID survivor show. Not a recover, because I mean, I think you're living proof right here, buddy, that the life
Well,
after COVID can be very difficult.
it's difficult. I mean, I have a ton of problems. I just can't really do anything that I used to do. I mean, I used to sing and play music and stuff, and I just don't have it in me anymore. For now, come on.
That's it, my man. Keep the faith, my
good
bro.
vibes coming. Yeah.
We will. Bro, you got a lot of vibes going your way. I'm telling you, go read the comments afterwards. We appreciate you. We love you, my man. You guys stay safe. God bless.
Thanks.
Ah.
It's fun to do something like this because I have barely been to the apron of the driveway in like 2 months. So this is
Shawn,
as far as I've gotten.
Shawn, do you have, Shawn, do you have Facebook?
Of course.
Okay,
I mean,
what is it? How can we find you on Facebook? People are asking.
I don't know, Shawn Malone.
Shawn,
No,
is it,
I'll show him how to friend you.
okay, yeah,
Can't
put them
figure
out
it out.
and then Shawn Malone, is that what it is?
We
Malone?
got mallonesmart@gmail.com.
All right, we'll go ahead and
That's-
find you, my man.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, thanks. Thank you, Jody. Appreciate you guys.
SHAWN.
SHAWN. Got it.
Malone.
Yeah. I really, I mean, it's fine if people want to talk to me, but I don't really need any extra anything. All right.
You're a good guy, man. God bless.
Love
buddy.
you guys.
Love you,
Mahalo,
man.
Louie.
Thank you.
Mahalo.
Aloha. Hey,
Aloha.
Doc.
Aloha.